What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video, and we will talk about Pep Guardiola calling Mane a diving talent. Let me know what you think about that, because I'm absolutely furious with Guardiola here and what he said about Liverpool and Mane. I mean, it's pretty obvious what he's trying to do, but I want to hear your opinion in the comments below. And if you enjoy these videos, please leave a like. This will be quite a long rant about Guardiola and why he is an absolute hypocrite, because first of all, the incident where Guardiola is talking about is not even a dive, because Mane was clearly kicked by the defender. I will show you some pictures here. The referee John Moss, of course, gives a yellow card for diving to Sadio Mane when it wasn't even a dive. The pictures and the video clearly shows that. And this is what Guardiola said. It has happened many times, what Liverpool have done in the last few years. It's because Mane is a special talent. Sometimes he's diving, sometimes he has this talent to score incredible goals in the last minute. He's a talent. Liverpool are living rent-free in Guardiola's head, and what he's trying to do is trying to put pressure on officials, on the referees, on the VAR referees as well, to actually give any like close calls, any contentious decisions Manchester City's way. And Guardiola is a hypocrite because Raheem Sterling, Bernardo Silva and other Manchester City players have been accused of diving and have been booked for diving, just like Sadio Mane has been. But actually Sadio Mane's incident wasn't even a foul. I can show you some pictures of actually headlines in newspapers. For example, Guardiola said about Raheem Sterling that he's being hampered by unwarranted reputation for diving. So Arsene Wenger hits out at Raheem Sterling for diving well in a Manchester City Arsenal game. And also Manuel Pellegrini accused Bernardo Silva previously of diving to win the decisive penalty between Manchester City and West Ham. There has been many incidents before that actually Manchester City players actually do dive sometimes, and Guardiola is an absolute hypocrite, and I don't like this because I think that he wants every single thing to go his way, because he knows that he needs probably every little help that he can get for Manchester City to overcome this relentless mentality monsters of a Liverpool team. We just never give up, and I'm still absolutely buzzing that Liverpool turned the Aston Villa game around, and it was well deserved. And I think Guardiola is trying to put a lot of pressure on the officials, just like what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do at Manchester United. But I think, and what I like about Jurgen Klopp is that he doesn't get into these war of words in the media, and he doesn't want to, you know, return the mind games at Pep Guardiola. He usually just praises Guardiola in the media and doesn't really get into a war of words, as I said. So I'm not sure if the Mane incident was actually a penalty, but it was definitely not a dive. It was definitely a case of two players coming together, and sometimes the referees should just wave play on and not give a penalty, but not give a yellow card for simulation, because sometimes it's just a clash between two players, and without actually one of them shouldn't get a foul. And I think the pressure is really suddenly getting to Guardiola. He is now realizing that he needs something really special to overcome this Liverpool team, and I think this is one of his solutions, to put pressure on the officials, so when Manchester City go to Anfield, the referees might give some calls to Manchester City, and when there is a 50-50 decision, when there is a coming together in the box, he just hopes that in the back of the referees' minds these quotes will be still hanging on. And I think that is very dirty by Guardiola. I have to be honest, I really respect Guardiola as a manager, but I don't really like him as a man. I mean, what Guardiola actually did in the Man City Southampton game was also quite controversial. So what happened is that Southampton were leading 1-0, and of course the Southampton assistant manager wanted to time waste a little bit, which is pretty normal in football. Every team does it, even Manchester City does it. And he was just holding on to the ball for a few seconds. And when Manchester City turned it around, Guardiola just took the ball out of the Southampton player's hand, and he was running over to the Manchester City assistant manager and just put the ball in his face, saying like, "Come on, time waste now, you cunt," or something like that. And actually, you can fully understand why Southampton did that time wasting incident. They lost 9-0 the previous game. Of course they wanted to hang on to a 1-0 lead against the champions, against Manchester City, or even getting a draw would have been a brilliant result for Southampton after they got absolutely destroyed by Leicester City. This was not a class thing to do by Guardiola, I will be honest. When I saw the footage of that, I didn't like it at all. But let me know what they think about that incident in the comments below. I think it was very, very disrespectful by Guardiola. But now let's talk about VAR, and Jurgen Klopp's reaction I think is brilliant to VAR, because Jurgen Klopp actually claimed that bad VAR decisions could actually get managers sacked, get managers to lose their jobs in the Premier League, because a bad VAR decision will be sometimes that one thing that separates a manager from staying in his job or losing his job, because over one defeat, that could be the defeat that broke the camel's back and gets a manager sacked. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said: "When we talk about serious moments, very important moments in football, it's not right to sit here and everyone wants to laugh about it. It is not to laugh about, it is too serious. Managers get sacked for losing football matches. They just have to clarify it. I'm not saying anyone is doing it on purpose, but something has to be done." And Frank Lampard also echoed Jurgen Klopp's thoughts, because there was also a VAR decision where Delafeu got fouled in the box. There was a very, very long VAR pause when they were checking the replays, and ultimately Watford got a penalty and Delafeu scored a penalty, but thankfully that didn't really affect the result and Chelsea won the game. I'm not really sure it was a penalty or not. I haven't watched the replays too many times, I have to be honest. Let me know what you think about that. And Frank Lampard said that the current state of VAR is dangerous. This is what he said: "I know it is a bit contentious, but if we are going to start saying there are grey areas when turning over decisions because one referee somewhere else thinks it's more of a penalty than the referee on the pitch did, then I think we are in a really dangerous place. We are going to be tossing a coin every week to see what decisions you get." And that's the biggest problem. Inconsistency. One referee in the VAR room might think it's a penalty, another one next week might think it's not a penalty. And also how Martin Atkinson, the VAR referee, manipulated the lines when he was checking whether Firmino was offside or not. I mean, even Andy Gray, who is working for beIN Sports, he used to work at Sky Sports before he got sacked. He is an Everton legend and an Everton fan. He hates Liverpool. He hates us, absolutely hates us. But even he was saying that Firmino was onside and that the referee manipulated the lines on purpose until it looked like it is offside. And that is just disgraceful, unacceptable. And I think that Jurgen Klopp is perfectly fine to call that decision out. As Jurgen Klopp said, I mean, Firmino can't score a goal with his armpit, but even his armpit was on a side. If you look at the video where actually they broadcasted the whole thing, that's what is troubling me the most, that there isn't a huge investigation done by the Premier League, by the FA, by the governing bodies about this, and many fans and pundits are highlighting this, that they actually broadcasted the whole video is on Twitter. I retweeted it. If you want to check it out, check out my Twitter. I can't put the footage here because the Premier League footage is copyrighted on YouTube, but the whole thing is on a video that they actually, the first time they draw the line, Firmino is well onside, and they manipulate the lines and the frames until they can say Firmino is offside, and that's just unacceptable in my opinion. Even if Andy Gray, of all people, who hates Liverpool, is saying that that was onside, then I don't know, like, what else do you want to hear? Jurgen Klopp said that it is actually impossible for Liverpool to go unbeaten throughout the whole season, and I kind of agree with him because of the VAR and the bad decisions, because there will be a game where Liverpool will get costly bad VAR decisions as well as yesterday, but we won't be able to turn it around. And also, because of the many fixtures, I think that Liverpool will get some injuries and we will have 1 or 2 games where we won't be playing that well, where maybe we will concede 1 or 2 goals and we won't be able to come back. But I hope that we are wrong and Liverpool will go the season unbeaten, because that will give us an even better chance to win the Premier League. But this is what Jurgen Klopp said. It is not possible if you play like we did until we conceded the goal against Aston Villa. It was not bad, it was actually the opposite. It was good football, but it was not the winning mentality that we need. It is probably not possible to go the whole season unbeaten, but we don't think about it, to be honest. We think about how we can win the next game and the next game. And what is very remarkable, that Liverpool have won a lot of points from going behind in the Premier League. This season we already won 10 points and we are already like 11 games into the season, which puts us first. Last season we were also first throughout the whole season from getting the most points from going behind. That we got 16 points throughout the whole last season, 38 games, and we already have 10 points from losing positions gained, which is huge. After 11 games, that's very remarkable. In the 2017-18 season, we had 9 points from 9 points won from going behind. That was only 13th in the league. And that season we finished, I think, in the top 4. The season before that, we got 18 points from going behind, which is, again, a league-leading statistic. And in Jurgen Klopp's first season, we were 5th from winning points from going behind. We won 13 points. Jurgen Klopp just changed Liverpool's mentality so much. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said about his team. We still have to learn and improve, and sometimes you have to get knocks, and we got knocks. For little mistakes we got knocks, but in the moment we could sort it out. It's not that we didn't deserve to win. I'm fine with the performance, but there were moments I didn't like. We made it difficult for ourselves. We started playing football well, but not exactly how we should have. Aston Villa were ready for a proper fight and a proper battle. We conceded the goal, and it's not so easy to change this wrong path immediately. When you watch the game, one team deserved to win, and it's us. I can imagine how bad Aston Villa will feel. With all they did, they will have deserved something. I think the main reason why Aston Villa can feel bad is that they were so close to winning the game. But overall, if you just take a look at the whole game, and how we performed, how Aston Villa played, we thoroughly deserved this win. If Firmino's goal is rightly not disallowed, if Mane takes his chance in the first half, we could have been 2-1 up in the first half. Second half, we easily could have scored 4 goals. So this could have been a 5-1, a 5-2 victory for Liverpool on the balance of play. But of course, if you don't take your chances, it will always be very difficult to actually get in front and seal the victory in time. In the end, Liverpool needed a 94th minute Mane winner, to get the 3 points, and that could be honestly such an important goal in Liverpool's season. Not only gives this Liverpool added momentum, but an additional 3 points that we won from 2 late goals is just massive, honestly. And also imagine the psychological blow that Liverpool would have had losing to Aston Villa, a newly promoted side, and then 1 week later we host Manchester City. The dynamic could have been completely different. Man City would have known if they win at Anfield, they could have gone top of the league. In this case, Man City need to win just to make the title race closer. And that's a great position for Liverpool to be in. And I can't wait for that game. Honestly, I think that will be one of the most exciting, one of the most highly anticipated Premier League games of the decade, shall I say, because this Liverpool and Man City title battle again is proving to be one of the best ever. These are 2 of the best teams in the Premier League era. I'm convinced that this is the best Liverpool side of the past 30 years and probably the best Manchester City side in their whole history, with one of the best managers in the world. But Jurgen Klopp, I think, is also one of the best managers in the world. So it's a fascinating battle and I'm really looking forward to it. Jurgen Klopp also said it's not the right way we talk about it and everyone wants to. And a Liverpool fan shared this statistic on Twitter, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So if Liverpool games were only officiated by John Moss or Martin Atkinson, Liverpool would average 61-point seasons. That is like 8th place in the Premier League. Wow, that just blows my mind, honestly. I would love to know since when has these 2 referees refereed Liverpool games, but it's just incredible. And I was checking some statistics of Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp now actually has the highest win ratio in the league of any manager in the history of Liverpool FC who managed more than 100 games, and that is just brilliant. He has a better win ratio than Bob Paisley, than Bill Shankly, than Rafa Benitez, than Kenny Dalglish, and that is just fantastic. And that is thanks to the last 1.5 seasons where Liverpool have been just this relentless machine, winning even when they are not playing well. And I'm just really delighted with how it's going. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what did you think of my rant on Pep Guardiola and everything that we talked about. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.